Harold. This is a story about Harold the helicopter. He thought helicopters were faster than engines because they have propellers instead of wheels. But then Percy challenged him to a race. Percy was delivering trucks of stone to the harbour. At the airlift nearby there was a helicopter buzzing loudly as it waited to land. "Loud buzzy thing," said Percy to his driver. "I wish it would go and buzz somewhere else." The next day, Percy made a delivery to the airlift. He stopped next to the helicopter. "Hello," said Percy. "My name's Percy." "Who are you?" "I am Harold," said the helicopter. "With my whirling propeller, I can fly like a bird. Don't you wish you had a propeller too?" "No, I like my wheels on the rails," replied Percy grumpily. "You engines are much too slow," Harold continued. "With my propeller, I can go much faster than any of you." Percy was cross, but before he could reply, Harold flew away. Percy puffed angrily to the quarry to pick up his next load of trucks. "Hello, Percy," said Toby. "You look cross. What's the matter?" Percy told Toby what Harold had said about helicopters being faster than engines. "I'll show him he's wrong," said Percy firmly. As Percy puffed back to the harbour, he heard a familiar buzzing noise ahead of him. "Look, Percy," said his driver. "There's Harold. Let's race him. Then we'll see who's fastest. Yes, we'll show him whose wheels are better than those funny whirling arms," said Percy, and he rushed after Harold. Harold heard Percy speeding up behind him. He realised that Percy was racing him to the harbour. "You'll never beat me," he said proudly. "I will. He landed at the airlift before you can stop at the harbour wharf." "Don't listen to him," Percy's driver. "We can win this." The race was on. Harold thought a little engine pull heavy trucks of stone could never beat him, but suddenly he saw Percy was drawing level with him. A few minutes later, Percy's driver shouted, "We're in the lead, Percy!" Percy was having the time of his life, racing along faster than he ever gone before. "Peep, peep, peep, goodbye, Harold," he shouted as he raced ahead. Harold looked down in surprise. He couldn't believe Percy was beating him, and he charged after him. Percy's fireman was shoveling coal into the furnace as fast as he could. He wiped the cloth across his face. "Phew," he said, "this is hard work. I hope we do beat Harold." Then he heard a signal that warned him. The harbour wharf was nearby. "Nearly there," called Percy's driver. I hope we've done enough to win the race." Percy braked as he approached the wharf. He rolled under the mainline and he halted the buffers. "Did we win?" he said breathlessly. His fireman scrambled up the top of the roof and looked at the airlift. "We've won!" he gasped. Harold was still looking for a place to land. Percy smiled as he showed that Harold the engines are just as fast as helicopters. Later that day, Harold looked embarrassed when Percy made a delivery of athletes. Percy's driver and fireman sang a song. "It's Harold the helicopter too well, Percy. You were much too slow. Your railway is out of date, and you know much use you. But Percy had his stone trucks. Did you trip in record time? And we beat out the helicopter on our old branch line." Harold smiled at Percy and he flew over him again. "You showed me that you can go even faster than me," he said. "I guess wheels are good and a propeller after all." Percy smiled happily. What fun it had been racing against Harold, and he couldn't wait to get back to the engine shed and tell the others about it. The end.